Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to another episode. I'm absolutely delighted you've chosen to spend your time here today, whether you're listening whilst having your morning cuppa, during your commute, or perhaps you're winding down after a long day. Wherever you are in this moment, know that you're exactly where you need to be. Today, I want to speak to your heart about something that might just transform how you view your current circumstances, your struggles, and even your victories. We're talking about divine purpose, about the profound truth that God has plans for you, plans that are far greater than anything you could imagine for yourself. Now, I know some of you might be sitting there thinking, but you don't understand my situation. You don't know what I'm going through. How can you possibly say God has plans for me when everything feels like it's falling apart? And to you, dear friend, I want to say this. I hear you. Your pain is valid. Your confusion is real. But what if I told you that even in the midst of your storm, even when you can't see beyond the clouds, there's a master plan unfolding? Let me paint you a picture. Imagine you're standing in the middle of a vast, intricate tapestry. From where you're positioned, all you can see are loose threads, knots, and what appears to be chaos. The colors seem random, the patterns make no sense, and you might even think the whole thing is a mistake. But if you could step back, if you could see the tapestry from the creator's perspective, you'd witness something breathtaking. Every thread has purpose. Every color contributes to the masterpiece. Even those knots you thought were mistakes, they're providing strength and texture to the overall design. This is your life, my friend. This is God's perspective of your story. You see, we live in a culture that's obsessed with instant gratification. We want answers now, success yesterday, and clarity about our future by tea time. We've been conditioned to believe that if we can't see the immediate purpose in something, then perhaps there isn't one. But divine timing operates on a completely different frequency than human impatience. Think about the seasons for a moment. In the depths of winter, when the trees are bare and the ground appears lifeless, would you say that nature has given up? Would you declare that spring will never come? Of course not. You understand that beneath the surface, incredible preparation is taking place. Roots are strengthening, nutrients are being stored, and life is positioning itself for the most glorious comeback you can imagine. Your life operates on the same principle. Those seasons when everything feels dormant, when progress seems impossible, when you're questioning whether you're on the right path. These aren't signs that you've been forgotten. They're seasons of preparation. God is working beneath the surface of your circumstances, preparing you for something magnificent. I remember hearing a story about a master sculptor who was asked how he created such beautiful statues from rough blocks of marble. His response was profound. "I don't create anything. I simply remove everything that isn't supposed to be there." This is precisely what God does in our lives. Sometimes what feels like loss, disappointment, or setback is actually the divine removing everything that doesn't belong in your story. That job you didn't get, perhaps it was protecting you from a path that would have led you away from your true calling. That relationship that ended, maybe it was clearing space for something or someone far better suited to your journey. That business venture that failed, it might have been teaching you invaluable lessons that will ensure your next endeavor succeeds beyond your wildest dreams. But here's what I find absolutely remarkable about divine plans. They're not just about the destination. They're about who you become along the journey. God isn't simply interested in getting you to a particular place. He's invested in developing your character, strengthening your faith, and expanding your capacity to receive and give love. Every challenge you faced has been an opportunity to develop resilience. Every moment of uncertainty has been a chance to deepen your trust. Every season of waiting has been preparation for receiving something your previous self wasn't ready for. You're not the same person you were a year ago, 5 years ago, or even last month. You've been transformed through your experiences, and that transformation is part of the plan.
Now, I want to address something that often troubles people when we talk about divine plans. Some of you might be thinking, if God has plans for me, does that mean I have no choice in the matter? Am I just a puppet in some cosmic drama? Absolutely not. Free will is one of the greatest gifts you've been given. God's plans for you aren't about control, they're about invitation. Imagine you've been invited to the most spectacular party. The host has prepared everything: the most delicious food, beautiful music, wonderful company, and experiences that will create memories for a lifetime. You have a choice whether to attend or not. You can choose to engage with what's been prepared, or you can stand in the corner checking your phone. You can embrace the experience, or you can leave early. The invitation is there. The preparation is complete, but how you respond is entirely up to you. This is how divine plans work. God has prepared amazing things for your life, but He's also given you the freedom to choose how you'll participate. You can resist, you can cooperate, or you can fully embrace what's being offered. The plans exist regardless, but your experience of them depends largely on your response.
Here's something beautiful to consider. God's plans for you aren't diminished by your past mistakes. They're not cancelled by your current circumstances. They're not delayed by your doubts or fears. Divine love doesn't operate according to human systems of merit or punishment. You don't have to earn your way into God's good graces, and you can't fall so far that you're beyond redemption. Perhaps you're carrying guilt about decisions you've made, paths you've taken, or opportunities you've missed. Maybe you feel like you've wandered so far from where you should be that there's no way back to any meaningful purpose. But here's the truth that I need you to hear. There's no expiration date on divine love. There's no point of no return when it comes to God's plans for your life. The most beautiful stories often include chapters of loss, redemption, and comeback. Some of the most impactful people in history had periods in their lives that seemed like complete disasters. Yet those very experiences became the foundation for their greatest contributions to the world.
Let me share something personal with you. There was a time in my life when everything I thought I wanted seemed to slip through my fingers. Career plans crumbled, relationships ended, and I found myself in a place I never imagined I'd be. I spent months questioning everything: my decisions, my worth, my future. I couldn't understand how things had gone so wrong when I'd tried so hard to do everything right. It wasn't until much later that I began to see the thread connecting those difficult experiences to the beautiful life I live today. The skills I developed during that challenging time, the empathy I gained, the strength I discovered I possessed, all of it became essential to who I am now and the work I do. What felt like detours were actually direct paths to my purpose.
This brings me to something crucial about recognizing God's plans in your life. They often look nothing like what you expected. We tend to imagine divine plans as straightforward paths to obvious success. We picture clear signs, easy decisions, and smooth journeys toward predetermined destinations. But real life and real divine purpose is far more nuanced and beautiful than our limited imaginations can conceive. God's plans for you might include periods of uncertainty that teach you to trust. They might involve unexpected connections that lead to opportunities you never would have sought. They might require you to develop skills you didn't know you needed for purposes you haven't yet discovered,